Hello my loves, and welcome back to Bahati Life YouTube channel. If you're meeting for the first time, welcome, and for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you can see, we have a pick a card reading this afternoon. We're going to be focusing on the very next things that are going to be unfolding for you that you can expect along your journey right now in life. So we have 3 different piles to choose from. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. Allow yourself to be drawn to the pile that is calling you, and I will meet you down in the timestamps. All right, my loves, if you chose the first pile, this is what you can expect along your journey. The next few things to unfold for you. So the first card, we have the Earth Fairy, physical health, grounding, and foundations. The next card, we have the Serpent, knowledge and healing. Very, very interesting. This is so interesting because I'm wondering where Pluto falls within your astrology chart. That's the first thing that's standing out to me, as well as Chiron. You might have one of the transiting planets right now might be aspecting your Chiron or Pluto right now, especially with the Serpent card showing up first and foremost. I'm going to talk to you about that before I go into the rest of the cards. I wasn't expecting that, but let's go ahead and dive in. So Pluto rules death, transformation, rebirth, regeneration. It cleans out all of the things that no longer serve us. It is integral to our growth here in life. It can be really intimidating oftentimes to look into the face of Pluto as a planet and all that it represents, but you always end up coming out strong. You always come out better. You always end up coming out on top. It's interesting because the Earth Fairy here on the opposite side, physical health, grounding, and foundations, you may have been in a season of really massive transition or transformation in the foundations of your life already. Now I know that this reading is talking about the future and what is next to come, but I really feel like this energy has already been lingering here in the present, something that you're aware of. This could feel like the ground has fallen beneath you when it comes to something that you thought was a sure thing, that you believed was a sure thing, whether it be a relationship or relationships, whether it be how you make money, your career, your work. It could be you moving. It could be a drastic lifestyle change. It's almost giving Kundalini awakening. And I do want to tell you that in the future, the first thing that I'm sensing is your ability to understand why things had to happen the way that they did, even if it was the most incredible period of transition and transformation and you felt like you were under fire. Like you may not necessarily feel like you're the same person that you once were in the past. I'm also getting a strong sense of rebirth and regeneration in the near future. And with this rebirth of yourself, of your physical self, your emotional self, your spiritual self, and even mental self, the parts of you that were flaky, that were insecure, that had doubt, that would have lingered in situations that may not have been good for you, that were not healthy for you, now you can see those things a mile away and you would avoid them. Like you'll be able to have the wisdom, the knowledge to avoid them instead of repeating these patterns again and again and again. The main feeling that it is that I'm getting intuitively, that I'm sensing, is the amount of wisdom, the amount of awareness that you have. Your perspective has changed so greatly. It's like you went from being like a page, someone who's the messenger in the spiritual community, in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realms, into being someone who is channeling and manifesting and like you own your power, you know your power. Now in this moment, you may not necessarily feel that and believe that. You may be in the thick of it right now, but this is something that's to come into the future. It's the sheer force of recognizing how strong you are and just how much you have changed. For some of you guys, you have entered into a space of serious independence where you may have felt like your back was against the wall in the past, or even in the present, where you've had to figure things out, you've had to become resourceful, or you've had to do difficult things in order to become the independent person that you are today. But it was worth it. In the future, you're going to understand and see how worth it was. I just heard to be or to become, right? Like, and that's such an interesting thing for Spirit to say. To be or to become. It's like you get to choose. You get to choose if you were going to succumb to the past, to accept certain circumstances, to accept certain treatments, to accept a certain lifestyle. For some of you guys, you're looking at this and you're like, well, Jess, I didn't call for this major transition. You didn't, but you were ready for it. You may not necessarily have manifested it. It may not have been your first wish, but the timing was right. The timing was fated. It needed to happen, and Spirit allowed it to happen because they read your energy. The universe read your energy and felt this person is capable. This person is prepared. And it's like looking at your skin now. There's something about like looking at yourself, and I'm almost seeing like assessing damage. You're looking for damage, but what you're really going to see is your own growth. You're looking for flaws, but what you're really going to see is growth and beauty. Some of you guys have really broken toxic patterns in past relationships, connections, even communication. Some things that you would allow, that it would be okay, you would let it fly. You would almost even be like attracted to it or engage in it, interact in it, and it's not for you anymore. For someone here, you got out of a situation just all that was meant for you to receive out of the situation. But it's important for you now to see yourself for who you are now, and not the person that was attracted to that situation in the past. It was almost like you had something to prove, you had something to learn. Now you're kind of find yourself drawing in different territories. I'm also seeing someone kind of like opening up a new book in their life, like opening up a whole new book in their life and saying, I already wrote all of these chapters of my life. Now it's time to start a whole new novel. Like, I'm not the same person that I once was. And I really get a strong sense of looking towards Chiron and Pluto transits. I would say Saturn, but it's giving more Pluto. It's giving more Pluto because you are not the same person. Saturn will mature you, but Pluto has changed you. It has like aggressively changed you in the best way possible. And Chiron is about healing. Let's look at the other cards. Yep, wow, clarity. Yes, clarity. This is exactly what I was saying. You have this like deep sense of, I know, like I am aware, my perspective has shifted. It's empowering. It feels very empowering. Also, you're empowered to trust yourself in ways that you haven't before. You might have looked for others for their opinion, for their insight, for their counsel, for their perspective. And it's not that you don't value the wisdom and the perspective of other people. It's just that you ask yourself first before you check in with others. And it makes a hell of a difference. I want to say that someone, what they were attracted to in the past when it comes to relationships, if you were someone who was once married and went through separation, you chose partners in the past that represented safety for you, and then through that relationship, even though it might have been difficult, even though it might have been challenging, and even though it might be painful to say goodbye and to start over, it needed to happen because you discovered yourself. You discovered your voice, you discovered your feet, you discovered strength, you discovered a path, partly because you started realizing that what you were once in is something that is no longer attractive to you, because you've grown so much, and now you're starting to look for different things. I just keep seeing you looking into the future. So what is in the future for you now to be excited for is potential. The next few cards we have, wow, lay a solid foundation, the beaver, exactly. Then we have buffalo spirit, the abundant universe will provide, exactly. So it's a lot of potential abundance in the future, big time, especially now that the foundation is solid, and then you can maintain. Spirit has a plan, exactly. You're going to have so much clarity on why things had to happen the way that they did, even if it's something that you're still processing and don't fully understand right now. For some of you guys too, this is going to be, I'm seeing someone journaling and writing down in their journal and their notes, I forgive myself for needing to do things my way, needing to go the journey my way, having to go through the ups and downs in my way, because that was what my soul chose to do. It's all a part of this greater, bigger plan that sometimes we don't logically see and understand, but we intuitively sense and we trust. And then sometimes the universe says, okay, enough is enough. We're going to help you. We're going to lead you through this. But either way, the answer was I was capable. The answer is I know my potential. I know I have no choice but to do it. And you did, or you are. The tarot cards for you: Six of Cups reversed, the Hermit card, which is a lot about clarity. Yeah, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune card, and then we have the Devil card. Yeah, so this has been a lot about, this confirms everything that I was just feeling and sensing. It's so funny how strong it was. Of you really not repeating past patterns. You choosing, deciding, I am not going to repeat a past pattern. I've lived through it, I've done it, I've learned, and now I do better. The Hermit card, for some of you guys, in the past, you might have been fearful of being alone. And now it's almost like you prioritize your me time. It's not that you're promising, it's not that the universe is promising you silence and quiet and disconnection from friends and family and relationships that matter. It means that the way that you spend your time now is different. When before, you might have been someone who has maybe had to deal with codependency issues, or always kind of factoring someone else into your plans, whatever that may have looked like. So you really broke free of this pattern, and no matter how life would have panned out, the outcome would have been the same. The lesson would have been the same. You would have found out. For some of you guys, you might have guilt about how a situation unfolded, how you handled it. You might have shame. You might be embarrassed. And these are things that it's like, really forgive yourself for the way that your soul, your spirit chose this journey, because it needed to happen the way that it did. And it would have happened regardless. Any type of high moment that you think you could have handled better, it would have, if maybe not in that situation, moments later it would have shown up in another situation. So it's all about acknowledging it, accepting it, and continuing to lay the foundation of yourself now. And a lot of this has to do with building your world around you now. Like building your world around your needs, your wants, your desires, your wishes, how you see things. And for some of you guys, I want to tell you, I just heard loud and clear, a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a whole lot of things in order to start over. Having a little bit will take you just as far as you need to go. Having a little bit means that you don't have all this extra stuff to look after. You don't have the extra burden. Trust the little that you have, even if that's not as abundant as you were in the past when you thought you were in a better position. Think about in the past how you might have been surrounded by abundance and wealth, but the foundation of your life might have been faulty. And there might have been a false sense of security, but were you safe? Were you safe? It's almost like starting over with things that are genuinely yours, and things that don't have strings attached to them is way more empowering, having less than all of these things that have strings pulling you and trying to control you, manipulate you, or tell you what to do. For someone here, you spoke up for yourself and you disagreed with someone. Like you had to speak up and say, I don't feel comfortable doing this. That's not my path. That's not what I want. I know I've been doing this for years. I know that in the past this was okay, but now it's not. And I just want to tell you too that that's okay. Take all the time that you need. It would have happened regardless. That you're not a bad person. You're not a bad child. You're not a bad mother. You're not a bad friend. You're not a bad partner. You're not a bad wife or husband. You're not lazy. You're not lacking ambition. You're still creative. Like all the things, the voices that we say to ourselves, this harsh inner critic, that harsh inner voice, that where did we first hear that voice talk to us? Where did we first hear that criticism? Whose voice is that? Is it just ours, or where else have we heard that? And the last few cards we have here, wow, breathe and recharge, exactly. In the future, just take a quick moment to breathe, to recharge, to reset, especially since so much change has happened, especially since so much transformation has happened. You're not going to run out of time. This is a wonderful time for you to heal, especially the serpent here, knowledge and healing. This is a wonderful time to catch your breath, and there is still a divine plan. You're working on the foundation right now. You're working on calming your waters, and the universe will provide. Like, every single step of your journey now seems very fated, seems very connected to the universe and to the higher plan, so trust that. And if you need to take a little extra time to catch your breath, then so be it. Take as much time as you need. I hope that this helps. I have for you guys, I actually recommend the Higher Wisdom candle. I'll link it down for you below in the description. Until then, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be working my magic in the apothecary, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Loves,
bye.
If you chose the second message, this is your reading. I did switch things around a little bit because I had to switch my camera, and this was better for me to record on my phone. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First card we have, that is so funny because it's so funny. That is so funny. All right, I'll tell you why in a minute. The Fire Fairy, creative action and optimism. Now, it's wild because just as I was about to flip this card over, I actually felt myself hesitate and delay, and I don't know why. And then I see this creative action and optimism and fire energy. It's very quick, fast. So I don't know if you are someone who has been feeling like you're second guessing yourself, like you might be like running to the edge of a cliff of life, and then you stop, you pause, and just like, I don't know. So I'm gonna ask as I'm shuffling, pulling the cards out, see if I'm picking up on anything other than, actually, yeah, I feel like the way that she's holding herself, the way that she's trying to cover her body, and these little strands, like, I wonder what that is. For some of you guys, your delays right now, if you're feeling a delay, if you're feeling too seen, for some of you guys, you might need a little break. You need to separate from something, someone. You might feel invaded. I don't know if that's the right word, but invaded upon, like needing. For some of you, there's a need for actual confidence within yourself, that there might be a lingering, nagging thought in the back of your mind that makes you feel, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? Some of you guys might actually find yourself moving things around, which is funny because that's exactly what I ended up having to do getting ready for your reading. Having to move things around, like constantly having to adjust, and it just, maybe there's a feeling of like unsettled, like a feeling that you can't get comfortable, you can't, I don't know what this is. I haven't felt this type of energy in a while, so I'm trying to make sense of it right now. For some of you, you guys are looking for signs of confirmation, recognition, like send me a sign, send me a sign, send me a sign. And the universe sends it to you, but then when you see it, you may be second guessing it, or send me another sign, send me another sign, send me. There's not enough. It's this, you may feel like this endless pool of reassurance. Like, are you sure you're still coming? Okay. Well, text me when you're on your way. Like, I'm getting this feeling of, and even as I'm sitting here, I keep rubbing my nose. And when I am rubbing my nose, it's because Spirit is trying to speak or has already spoken. But are you able to trust the message that you're hearing, that you're sensing, that you've heard? Some of you guys need to go straight to your altar. This feeling of invasion is a cleansing, like a clearing that you need to do over your energy with smoke. You may need to do a floor wash. You may need to burn a candle for releasing of old energies, or whatever this like web is that feels like it's around you. Sometimes it gets that way. For someone who's in school, It could be your thoughts constantly thinking, or someone who uses their brain, their mind, studying a lot, processing, planning. It's this feeling of constantly planning, thinking. It makes you... It's interesting because I am almost getting a sense that you're second guessing your intelligence or your wisdom or your creativity or your ideas because you've thought so much. But if you think about it, you know, stupid people don't think so much. They don't think at all, you know? And somehow, for some of you guys, you might be comparing yourself. There's a lot of messages that are coming through right now. You might be comparing yourself to others' journey, to what others are doing, and in that you're almost killing your creativity or delaying yourself from advancing, from moving forward. It's interesting that we're starting with this card now. This is something that you might want to... I know that this reading is about the future, and we'll look into that, but Spirit wants to start off with this today, and you guys know that if that's the message, that's what it is that I'm intuitively led to say, then I say it, you know? I don't... So, yeah, I feel like there's a feeling here of doubt or something that needs to be examined, this hesitation or overthinking. Are you sure? Do you like what I did? Like, you know, what do you think? Okay, well, if you need me to change anything, like, no, it's fine. It's fine. For some of you guys, when you do something, be done with it, move forward. Don't keep tweaking and picking and, you know, just let it be done. Get it done, get it out. It was great, move forward. You also have to expect yourself to grow. Like, more experience will come over time, even if you've been doing it for years. Look at me in astrology. I've dedicated my entire life, I'm 36 right now, to almost my entire life to the study of astrology, and I will forever be learning. And people ask me, just how do you know the charts in the way that you do? And part of it is experience, part of it is because I threw myself into astrology in the deep end and was just like swim, and I was passionate, almost obsessive with it, and couldn't turn it off for years. And then I had a moment of burnout, and then I had a moment of second guessing myself, and then I had a moment of, I don't like the way, and I'm just being totally transparent with you, I don't like the way that the internet is today. I don't like the way, you know, that was my thought and my feeling. I don't see myself involved in that. And I was thinking and slowing myself down, like, and it was a part of the journey. I'm human. It's a part of my growth, even not in the realms of astrology, but as a human being. And I don't regret it. I needed to go through it. But now it's like that fire, that passion, that creativity has come back again. I don't second guess myself. If anything, I move differently these days, you know, and I'm more open, you know, to, because I used to be really like closed off, even because I was just always talking about it all the time. It would like consume, you know. So then when I would bump into people and they would see my reputation and, you know, hear, you know, or have done a reading and they want to come back, it's like that was always what I was about. So it really was messing with me. And I'm saying this to say, not to dump on you, like I hope you understand, but maybe someone can relate to that feeling, that it's not that you're not capable, it's not that you're not intelligent, it's not that you're not highly informed. You may be coming from burnout, you may be recovering from care fatigue, like really caring, really giving your all, giving your best, and putting your everything into it, that there comes a point sometimes where you start to kind of need a break, but kind of collapse under it a little bit, and even collapse under your own greatness a little bit, where you say, I need a moment, because it can get, whatever it is, can get a little invasive. It can get a little, you have to re-find yourself again. You have to take a break, you know, just take a break. You would think I pulled this pile, but I didn't. I pulled a different pile. I just want to sit and examine that card. Like, I just want to keep sitting with her and picking her brain and asking her, you know, what's up? Like, what are you thinking? Like, and just get it out. Like, just get it out. Like, don't, this is the type of person that when you ask them, they kind of say, no, it's fine, you know, like, no, I don't want to burden you. And then then they're able to like unleash and let it out, and then they apologize, and they have so many thoughts that each thought interrupts the other thought, and then interrupts, and it's just like, then they say like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, that probably made no sense. But it's like, no, just keep going. Like, me listening to you, I'll connect the dots myself. Just get it out. Like, just get it out. And I just that's the energy of this pile, is to just get it out. I don't know how else to say that. Whew. Oh God. I don't know why some of you guys are going to be like, meh, with this. But the Raven, magic, coincidence, and synchronistic events. Interesting. I believe, and I'm nervous saying this, and I'll always be honest with you, I'm nervous saying this. I don't know if this is the time to work magic. If you are someone who is in your head a lot, you may need to. This is the thing where instead of working magic for things to help you to trust yourself, you more set an intention or write a petition, or, because that's the realms that I dive into. For those of you guys that don't know, or if you're new to my channel, welcome. But I feel like this is more about finding, instead of working your magic, because it almost seems like if you had a wand and you directed it somewhere, the wand would backfire. Like it would kind of cut out, you know, spark a little bit and cut out, because there's so much power surge. You know, this is for me, it's giving quiet. It's giving finding yourself in awe of the universe, the divine, your angels and your guides, and empowering yourself again. I'm also seeing solar plexus, sacral chakra energy, where you might need to re-nourish your body and do more things that are playful. That's actually the magic here, is play. Your magic and how you can change your environment and what is in the future for you is actually play. Your ability to not do things for the sake of making money, your ability to do things not for the sake of being productive or because it serves greater purpose, other than enjoyment and fun and pleasure and play. That's what needs to happen now. And it's interesting because our reading today was focusing on the future and what to expect for the future, but Spirit is showing me examining the mind, the energy, the aura, putting it into place, putting it into position so that it is empowered to then co-create from this place, and that will be your future. Very, very interesting. I hope that makes sense. And I'm very glad that you tuned into this reading, because if you're someone who listens to a lot of pick a card readings, sometimes if you're getting all this information, these signs, these synchronicities, coincidences, are they coincidences? You know, it can get from where you're at right now, and it happens to the best of us. Like, literally, remember my story I just told you. You can get very much in your head. Even if you see a clear sign, you still need to feel reassurance, like a sense of reassurance first, like a sense of, it's okay for me to play right now. It's okay for me to let this down. Actually, that's actually what helped heal me. I stopped making my entire existence work and working magic for other people, candles, intentions, you know, getting like custom, because it was something that I loved and was my passion. But in order for me to come back to myself, to reconnect with myself in my own journey, I had to kind of close the shop down for a little bit. And thank God, you know, that things happened the way that they did. My life filled up very fast with joyful things, very, very fast. Like a sponge, just absorbed. I absorbed all this moisture. I absorbed all this nourishment. I absorbed all this water, and then was able to slowly reflect, re-empower myself, and start to regain strength to go back to my altar in a different way and ask now that I've experienced this, now that you've directed me to see this from this lens, now what do I do from here? And the way that I approach business, the way that I approach magic, clients, everything has changed and evolved. And I've been 10 plus years, you know, doing this. So and I've naturally, you're going to grow. I'm also seeing High John the Conqueror root. For someone here, that would be very beneficial. I have that oil in my shop. I'll link it down for you below. That would be huge. I'm also seeing road opener for you, the fixed candle. 100%, that would be so beneficial for you. And others, the bird of paradise candle, big time. The bird of paradise candle. That is literally the sponge, that sponge energy that I was telling you about. That if you're someone who is dry, you feel like you're losing that energy, that zhuzh. Bird of paradise is that ability to nurture, to absorb that nourishment and to come back to life. Totally different. Empowered, goddess energy, divine feminine, creative, spark, passion, all of it. It's a very, 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 very good candle. Wow. Wow. Look at this. You have feelings and body. Feelings and body. For some of you guys, look at her body language. Look at how she's hiding herself. For some of you, that's really going to resonate true with you. This is about getting out of your head, focusing, listening to your feelings, and watching how your body might be tight. Or look at the changes in your body. Has your body dry? Do you feel dry, itchy, flaky? These are things that magic, intention, like play, the way that you're eating food, it says a lot about what's going on in your energy, your aura. For some of you guys, you're drinking a lot of water, but you're not absorbing the water. Like you might be drinking a lot of water, but you're passing the water. Your body's not, it's still dehydrated. Like it's just running right through you. It's running right through you. And a lot of that has to do with nutrient imbalance. The body is just going too fast at a different pace. Focus on, in your future, I see very juicy things like oranges, mangoes, tangerines, apples, cucumber, tomatoes, papaya. For some of you guys, you need Jamaican food. Okay, the next few cards we have Flamingo Spirit, Embrace the In-Between. And that can be tough. I've been there. That's right on deck. When I was going through that season, it was the in-between for me as well. It's moving from one season to the next season and the awkwardness in between. It makes you really second guess yourself. It makes you very awkward. It makes you vulnerable to saying yes or no to things from a disempowered state. So whatever you say yes to, even if it's not bad, it doesn't feel good, you know? Time for a deep dive. That's exactly what that's what I was saying. I just want to sit with her and allow her to deep dive into her feelings to get it all out. Co-create with spirit. And then we have the crow again. So we have the crow and the raven. They're very similar birds. Some of you guys are moving from the shadow into the light right now, and it does take time. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. This is why going for that deep dive is important, because you're not running from your more difficult feelings. You're facing them. You're embracing them and saying, okay, I'm listening. I'm listening to you. They're very intelligent. Your body too is very intelligent and will tell you faster than anything else that something is not right, something is a yes, something is a no. You could lose attraction for things. Watch how your body reacts to stuff. You have the Chariot. Yep, this is moving forward and embracing the in-between, the dark and the light. So for movement. It's true that for some of you guys, you might be going on a trip, an adventure, a vacation, just to kind of recalibrate a little bit. Your friendships may have changed. People may feel far away from you. You may feel a little bit separated from things right now. Things may just feel a little off. This is going to be temporary. Yep, we have Two of Cups. This is the card of partnership and relationship, but it's also about harmony and being in agreement with yourself, you know, just really being in harmonic alignment. I don't know if that's if I'm saying that correctly. For some of you guys, you need protection while you rest. For some of you, you feel very like overstimulated. So in the future, it's like calling for protection while you rest, while you restore, while you replenish, while you nourish yourself. In the future, you're going to be supported. In the future, I just see for you, it's like a sponge, again, absorbing the water. That's what's in the future for you. Just picking up fresh water. Hopefully it's fresh, right? Yep, speaking of water, we have the King of Cups. He's the king of emotion and water and intuition. You're literally like a sponge, just filling yourself up, filling your cup up. And then look at that, rest. I just said that. I just said rest. Some of you guys feel so drained. And this is about, especially with Two of Cups and the Chariot card, this is about you being able to find balance so that you're not saying yes to everything, so that you have a little bit more direction with what you are pouring into and who and what is pouring into you. Is that something that you should be accepting in your energy field right now, or is this something that you should be shielding yourself away from? And again, it's not until you sit with yourself, you do a deep dive and you ask yourself, how do I feel? You know, have my feelings changed? Was it involuntary? Was it subconscious? Was it intuitive? This intuitive change, this intuitive shift. How do I feel? And that's okay. Now for your last cards, we have the Journey and Ambition. That's so funny. Set your sights beyond the horizon. This, you would think that, okay, this is just me to me right now, but you would think that I would have chose this pile because it really makes a lot of sense to a season that has just ended in my life. And I had just gone through this, and I was just like, I cannot believe that I'm known for my ambition. I'm known for my motivation. I'm known for showing up. I'm known for giving 110%. And in all of that, I was like, just drained like a sponge, just needed to absorb. And it needed to be the right thing. And I took my time. I think it was 4 years. 4 years of taking my time. Time flies. But anyway, on this journey, like, and with your ambition, all of those things will come back to you if you're feeling like a lack of zhuzh, you know. For right now, it's your journey. What this season looks like for you is rest and nourishment and joy and play and fun and finding the spark again, oftentimes separating yourself from the very thing that gave you that spark to begin with. And it just kind of, if it's your thing, it will always be there. It will always come back. It will always be a part of your life. But sometimes you have to redirect your energy elsewhere. Then when you come back, it's the cup has been, you've given the bucket enough time to fill up with rainwater, you know? And then you can water yourself, water the lawn, water the garden, you know, whatever it is that you're pouring into right now. But for right now, I do want to say that it does seem like your body is showing you signs of how it is that you're subconsciously and intuitively, what is that you're feeling. For now, take the time to deep dive into that. Really sit with yourself, get close and intimate with your inner feelings and what your body is showing you. Do you tense up? Do you tighten up? Are you shivery? Are you agitated? Are you overstimulated? And with that, capture it and then rest. When you're done resting, play. If you have to, set intention that you are shielded, that you are guarded, that you are protected through that play, because that play is important too. Your nourishment is important too, just as much as your productivity and what you contribute to society and your ambition, okay? Your projects, your goals. So I'm sending you guys all of my love. Like I said, Bird of Paradise fixed candle is where it's at for you. High John the Conqueror root oil, absolutely, and road opener candle will help you to kind of move past this blockage right now, instead of you being kind of stuck at the crossroads of like, you know, what do I do? What happens next? This is going to be something that will help you even as you're resting, to light that candle, to have that intention put over you while you rest will help, you know, open those doors for your own healing, blessing, and abundance. So All right, my loves, I hope that this was helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really does make a difference for me and my YouTube channel. I appreciate it more than you know. Do subscribe because there's plenty more videos like this where this came from, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. All right, my loves, if you chose the third message, this is your reading. Oh my God, I was just thinking, I was like, I see a bird, but I saw it like flying. Okay, we have spirit, integrity, and connection to the angelic realm. What is next for you in your journey? Then we have the goblin, the wounded human ego. Okay, first things first, what's standing out to me and what I'm intuitively sensing is a change in your perspective, right? With the goblin, I do want to say the wounded human ego, this might be how you are observing something, like your perspective of your circumstance, your life, your situation. You could be in the midst of a blessing. You could be in the midst of a very wonderful thing, but from your perspective, from your standpoint, you might be rejecting it, or you might be making it more difficult for yourself. You might be focused, or you might find yourself, it might not be that you're being negative, right? It might be that you may find yourself slipping into a way of thinking about things that isn't how the universe, your angels, your guides, your ancestors wishes for you to see things. And that can be really tough. Let's say you're in the midst of something in your life and it's really challenging you. Like genuinely, it's challenging, it's difficult, it's not easy, it's not nice, it's not kind. You may look at this like, I hate this, you know, just being so human, right? I don't like this. I'm uncomfortable. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. What's the future going to look like? It could be anxiety. It could be someone who has, you know, depression and might normally be positive, but find themselves kind of slipping back in. This is about changing your perspective. Let's say you're someone who is in a positive place and you're on top of the world, soaring, soaring, soaring. There's something here that spirit is like, not to humble yourself, but to don't get so comfortable in that position, because I get this feeling that things are temporary. It's about learning to appreciate your position right now, whatever that is, whatever that may be, whatever that looks like. Whatever is going on here, spirit is asking you to see it from a higher perspective. As I was about to flip the card over, I kept seeing this turkey vulture. That's what we have here. They're turkey vultures. They look very intimidating from the sky, but they're just opportunistic, and they just kind of spin around and just kind of fly in the air in circles and wait for, I don't know what they're doing. I haven't asked them lately, but it's like changing your perspective so that you can see things from a different lens. I just heard for some of you guys, open your eye, but it was your third eye. Open your third eye so that you can be empowered in this moment in your life. Again, you could be in the midst of a really strong blessing, but it's hard, for whatever reason, it might be hard for you to see it as that, because you might be faced with challenges. You might be faced with things that are forcing you to grow and forcing you to change. And it's natural for a human being to be like, yeah, you know, not feeling this, didn't manifest that, you know. But there's something here that's challenging you to open your third eye, to open your eye to see things from a different realm. Let's see what else is coming up here. Courage. Divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, do it, don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear Divine, may I feel your courage and your will. So this is, again, talking about embracing the human side of your feelings. it's not telling you that, hey, when you're on your journey and when life is, you know, panning out the way that it should, it's going to feel really good 100% of the time. It's telling you that, truthfully speaking, that even along your journey, when you are doing the right thing, when you're on the right path, there will be moments where you may feel uncomfortable. This is Spirit's way right now of telling you to have courage, number one, in facing those uncomfortable moments. Number two, believe that your direction and your path hasn't changed. It hasn't, you haven't made a mistake, you haven't made a misstep. You're still right on target, you're still right on track, you're right where you should be, you're right where you need to be. Let's shift our perspective to see the bigger picture in this moment. What can we tell ourselves? Especially, it says, keep going, do it, don't worry, all will be well. What can you tell yourself in this moment to empower you even through a difficult or challenging time? This is so interesting. I just got a vision of marriage and relationships when a partner is going through a difficult time and they're not showing up in the way that they always have in the past. And this is about seeing through. And I don't know if this is a specific message that is for someone or if this is a metaphor, but it's about seeing through their foul mood, seeing through their stinky behavior, them acting out, and seeing to the root of why you love them, remembering the positive qualities about that person, and continuing to love them despite what you are watching and observing right now. Compassion. Wow, look, that's the next card, compassion. As you pray each day for greater compassion, a new self is born, drawing new people and experiences. Dear Lord, help me feel ever-deepening self-acceptance. May I see myself as you see me. That could be really tough. Is there a moment in your life where you should be given a little bit more grace and compassion than the average person should receive? And I say should receive because, like, it's like, oh, well, you know, she's gone through this, like, she's blah, 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 like, she can handle it. No, like, is there a moment where you can give yourself permission to receive ample space to feel the human feelings and be given compassion for the fact that you're doing difficult things right now, that you are grateful but still uncomfortable? I wonder what's in the future for you, though. You have 3 of Cups, 6 of Swords, it is reversed, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. You're going to understand, and this is kind of giving the energy that I saw in the first pile, you're going to understand to a greater depth of this sounds so, like, obvious and cliche, but, like, compassion for yourself, like consideration for yourself for others. I almost want to shuffle another card for you. Just a second. For some of you guys, you might be sick. Like, you might be feeling sick right now. It's giving, like, if someone has the flu and they are just not feeling like themselves, it's like too much of something, like they're just like, oh my God, am I gonna be this way forever? Like, it's just giving Danny Goes to the Dentist. Like, is this gonna be this way forever? You guys remember him? 6 of Wands, wow. And the World card. There will come a time, right? There will come a time. If this guy, it really felt like I need to shuffle a little extra cards for you guys. There's gonna come a time soon, where you're gonna come out on top. In the moment, though, you might be uncomfortable because 6 of Swords, 3 of Cups reverse is, I can't see where this is going. Like, I don't really trust and feel confident and feel good in where this is going. Really trying to see, really trying to do my best, Jazz. Like, I can hear some of you guys being like, I'm really trying to look on the bright side here. You are going to come out on top. You are going to come out on top. What your future has for you right now is a greater ability to give yourself empathy and compassion when you are doing difficult things, when you are in the midst of doing difficult things. And as light and just like, oh my God, that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I clicked in. It is a huge blessing. That is a huge That is a huge gift from the universe to give yourself. That is huge. With the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the World card and the Six of Wands, I want to tell you that everything, and I think I said this already, but I just want to tell you that things are temporary right now. Nothing really is going to last. I'm looking at the Queen of Pentacles, and I think about how she is steady, how she likes routine, how she likes consistency, how she likes things to be constant. But even around her, her world is changing. Even in her garden, there's different seasons. Be okay with the different seasons and how long those seasons have to take, because in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long of time. Like, can you enjoy the moments where, you know, your garden is thriving, or where you feel happy and abundant? Can you also appreciate the moments when your energy is depleted, you might feel exhausted, and you're more reflective and emotional and in tune and relying 100% on the divine's grace? Can you also appreciate the moments of bounty and abundance and reaping the reward, as well as the moments where it's over, it's done, and it's time to release and be grateful for the fact that it happened? It's about, wow, I felt that. I felt that. I really felt that. I love this space. Like, so much gratitude. Sorry guys, I have to give gratitude when I feel it. So much gratitude for this moment, for these readings, for this time that we have together, because wow, I'm so blessed. Like, I'm so grateful. Sorry, just feeling it. You know me though, you know me. Okay. Badger spirit, it says, be fearless and bold. You can do difficult things, you can do hard things, and you can get through this. This will not last. Like, this too will have a time stamp. This too will be temporary. This too shall pass. I'm also getting a strong sense, because someone here, you might actually feel sick. Your stomach may be queasy. You may feel a little like out of sorts. Ginger, I get made fun of in my personal life. I don't want to say every day, but it feels like it. I get made fun of for how much ginger I use in my life, because the taste, of course, the benefits, of course, but the medicinal and magical properties of ginger ignite and empower beyond. So yes, if you can tolerate ginger, because some people can't. And if you can't tolerate ginger, I almost encourage you to try to not force yourself, because that's not the right word, but train yourself to love it. Because ginger is so good. You put it in smoothies, you put it in tea, you put it in, cook with it, girl, everything. I forget who asked me recently, like, just like, well, how can you use ginger? Like, what all do you put ginger in? Everything. What can I not put ginger in? It will help you. The magical properties too is it will allow you to do difficult things. It will empower you to do difficult things. Okay, mouse spirit, we have tend to the small things. And that's something too that you can do, is in this moment, just kind of do the small things, break things down into smaller chunks, break things down into smaller pieces, make it more digestible for you, make it more doable for you. Try not to have this whole, like, I'm going to push this whole boulder up after this reading with Jess. No, I would still tell you, just start picking up the pebbles, the tiny pebbles around the boulder, one by one by one. And by the time you're done picking up all those pebbles, the rain would have washed the boulder down to another pebble that you can pick up. You'll look up, look around you, and say, I moved the boulder myself. There are a lot of things that contributed to the breakdown of the boulder that is blocking you right now. But right now, what you do is you take care of the small things in small doses, in small manageable amounts. Okay, that's all you can do at the end of the day. Can you give yourself that grace and that compassion and that kindness right now? And if you can't, this is why Spirit is asking you to see things from a different perspective. Why do you expect so much of yourself? Why do you expect so much of yourself? Why? Then we have Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. So this is about sweetness and kindness and music. And I also just heard the word transparency. It's about talking about your feelings. maybe not even needing to sugarcoat your feelings, but just kind of call them out and saying what they are. It could also be about looking at the small gestures and seeing what people are doing around you to help you to feel good, to help you to feel supported. They might be looking at you too, feeling sorry because they're like, damn, I can't help you. You know, not for you to feel guilty or feel shameful, but to look at the bigger picture and see, wow, there's a lot of people who love me right now. They're uncomfortable because I'm uncomfortable. Okay. Now let's look at your next few cards. We have Explore. Maps show what has already been discovered. Go another way. This is about changing your perspective. Exactly. Changing your perspective and seeing things differently. And then Dive. You don't find pearls. You don't find pearls on the seashore. It's about going deep. This is about digging in. This is about digging in and saying, you know what? I'm uncomfortable right now, but I can do difficult things. I'm going to go a little deeper. There's something here. There is a treasure for me to be found. There's a reason why I was placed here. There's a reason why I'm going through this right now, and I'm going to find that treasure. I'm going to dig deep to look for it. Instead of being like, I hate being on this boat right now. The rocking is making me sick. It's true. It's true. That's real. That's real. I don't like boats. Only recently have I grown accustomed. That was a huge fear of mine, was boats. I do not bang with boats like that. And I had a few friends who were like, let's all put in for this, you know, this specific type of boat. And I was just like, guys, they're like, I told my fears, I told my anxiety, I told them how I felt, and everyone was like, oh no, we're going to protect you. If you feel uncomfortable, we'll turn this whole thing around. Your money's in this too. And it ended up being something that is, I honestly love now, look forward to, and it's actually really relaxing for me now. But I had to do a difficult thing and change my perspective and push past my fear. You may need to be doing the same thing too, shifting your perspective and how you look at it. You could be stuck on this boat, kind of queasy and ugh, or you can jump into the water and use it as an opportunity to dive instead of being rocked by the waves that are making you feel sick. Okay? It's all about our perspective shift. So, what do I see for you in the future? I see success. I see things making sense, things coming around, you coming around. I'm seeing you coming out on top. I see it though coming from a place of you switching your perspective, saying, I can do big things, I can do difficult things, having the courage, speaking the courage within yourself, but more importantly than that, the compassion, the grace that is that you give yourself, the freedom to give yourself that compassion when you are in the midst of doing difficult things. And that's going to be something that stays with you for life. So what do I recommend for you? I'm just now realizing I don't have anything in my apothecary right now that has ginger in it, which is not like me. That is not even a little bit like me. So what I'm going to do is create an oil for courage. Oh, actually the bottle of sunshine back in the day had ginger in it. I'm going to create an oil for you for courage and conviction and to be able to do difficult things. And I'm going to start it right now. Actually, while this video is uploading, I'll put it in the shop, and it's going to be Courage and Conviction Intention Oil. It's going to feature the first things that are standing out to me right now is ginger, definitely, calendula, moringa, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to allow myself to be drawn to other essential oils and herbs. Yeah, I've got a few things that I can think of right now that are going to be absolutely, perfect for this. I'm going to get that started for you guys. That's what I recommend for you. It'll be down in my shop. Until then, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful for you. It's helpful for me. If you do that, it really pours back into my energy, into my effort here. And I'm sending you all of my love. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.